Anyway, well on. What's happening right now?
I just want to say I've got a new hairstyle, guys.
Oh yeah?
Do you like it?
What is it?
I've got faux locks.
Locks, is it?
I love it. I told you I want to lock my hair in 5 years' time.
Oh, you did actually?
Yeah, I'm really serious, but yeah, I wasn't sure about this. But anyway.
I thought you wanted to lock it sooner.
My mum said that I'm not allowed to lock my hair until I'm 40.
Okay.
What?
So that's what she said to me. I don't know. That's what she said. I don't know. She also said I can't lock my hair until I'm married. I don't know. So
Why?
you have to ask her. She said something about she's like, I don't think you should lock your hair until you're married. I don't know if it's like aesthetics or like an old wives tale. I don't know.
But those
Get
are
married
locks.
and then she wants to lock
But those are locks.
lock in the
Lock
love.
it
but
down.
those are
Lock in
locks.
the
Though.
enjoyment.
Yeah.
Faux locks.
Okay.
These are not like permanent locks. These are faux locks. This is just
Right.
crochet.
Okay.
But I want to actually lock my hair.
Why?
I've always wanted to lock my hair
Yeah, but
since I was
why?
like 18.
Is it more difficult to do it when it's real locks or like, what's the difference?
I can just buy this in the shop. Lindsay really out here got me exposing myself. I can just order this from anywhere.
Yeah.
And if I lock my own hair,
It's more of a
permanent
commitment.
commitment.
Yeah, it's more of a commitment.
And you want that more permanent commitment?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've wanted locks for ages, to be honest. I was just saying to Steph, actually, anyway, whatever, that's not important. What's important is, lovely listeners, I don't know if you've noticed that Angela and Lyndon have what you might call a healthy competition when it comes to basically anything.
No, let's rephrase that. Lyndon tries to bully me, and at one point I said, I shan't be bullied.
Shan't.
Does he know who I am? Speak to me very nicely and know that I know exactly what I'm talking about. And today we shall see.
We will see.
So I have decided to spring on them a little bit of a short London pop quiz.
Just to remind you, we have had a geography quiz before, a world geography quiz, where my friend here, Angela, thought she was going to beat me.
Don't live in the celebration.
But-
it was about
but
6 months ago.
I beat her quite considerably, okay? And now she's trying to try and
Quite considerably.
match me
the
again.
message that he sent was, you know what? You were a not worthy adversary, but this pretty much.
And then whatever, I'm doing the
Still
quiz.
beat you.
And I did really well, and I've done better than other people.
How can you guys
Still
be
lost.
competitive? We haven't even started the quiz yet.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, are you ready? So basically, I think I can ask all the questions, you can write them down, or you can answer one by one.
One by
Or
one.
do hands up, or do buzzer sounds. What do you want to do?
You can do whatever.
I need to know so I know who to say. You.
Wait, hold on. How are we going to do that though? So,
See, the competitiveness is coming out already. Okay, so
I just need to understand how
I'm going to ask the question.
You know what?
You
Just
just
do
need
it.
to-
You can
do how you
either
wanna do
write
it.
down the answer. Angela, where's your phone? Okay, so you know what?
I don't want to write down the answer.
So how are we going to... Okay,
I
how...
want to say it.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Let's start the quiz.
Okay.
All right, so question number 1. Big Ben is not actually the large clock's name. What is its name?
The clock's name.
What? I'm only going to read the question twice. I'm not adding anything else. Big Ben is not actually the large clock's name. What is its name? Oh, look at this. Nobody seems to know the answer.
Albert.
Albert is incorrect.
Big Ben is the name of the actual bell, but
We know that.
but I
She
don't
just
know
said
what
that.
it is. I don't know what it
Don't
is. the
try
clock.
to confuse people with your word hurricane. You're not going to repeat what she said to you and show that you're cleverer. Right.
So the answer is the clock tower. Big Ben is the name of the bell within the tower. So everybody got no point. Question number 2. Which is the only London Underground station that has all these interchanges? Victoria Line, Northern Line, Piccadilly Line.
I know what
Bank.
it is. I know what it is. No.
Okay, you said bank.
Wait.
Yeah, she
Victoria
said bank.
Line. Do you
She
know
did. She say bank. No, she spoke. She spoke. No. Wait.
I'm so sorry.
No, Fabrice. Do I get to speak? Do I get to speak?
You were chatting.
you
Do I get to
no,
speak?
because you
Is it
were
King's
chatting.
Cross?
It's King's Cross.
Okay.
No, but you shouldn't. If you have the answer, you say the answer. You don't say, "I know what it is," and then because that's also not the answer. So if you
The
have
answer
the
was King's
answer,
Cross, right?
okay, but
Okay.
you were chatting a lot before
1-0.
that.
1-0. I don't hear nothing.
You're on hell
Don't
of
hear
chatting.
nothing from
I
you.
just want to say, I think for the future, you should let me finish the question.
Yeah, but you already started talking. That's why I said something.
No, I
Don't worry.
wasn't.
So
I was
what we're
gonna
going to do, I'm going to finish the question and say
being on
I'm
chatting.
finished. Okay? Question number 3.
Okay.
How many miles does the M25 cover? 99, 111, or 122? The question is finished.
111.
111. Lyndon?
Are you calculating? Are you counting all the miles? Where have you got to? Do you even know where it goes?
The M25 that encircles
Stay
London.
focused. Stay focused.
Do you know?
It encircles London.
Yeah, it's also called what? Just answer the question. Why are you taking?
I don't know. 111 as well.
You cheat.
The answer is
123.
122 miles.
That was not even an option.
Everybody stay focused. Question number 4. Which London park is home to the Japanese gardens?
St. James.
Incorrect.
Holland Park.
Oh no! Oh no! But these are all touristy stuff. Tell me where to get the best roti and.
I am not a tourist.
Let me ask you a question. Are you answering the questions or am I asking the questions?
You can ask
Question number 5.
Is someone keeping score?
But this is not. This is
This
not.
is-
This
2-0.
is-
Let's go.
Hello.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Stay focused.
Go ahead.
Question number 5. Where in London was Sherlock Holmes said to live?
Baker Street.
Baker Street. Question number 6. What is located at 85? What is located at 85 Albert Embankment, Vauxhall? The question is finished.
The MI5 buildings? But it's the secret agent
MI6
one.
building.
MI6. It's the. I know what the building looks like, and I know it's there.
You know what? I'm going to give you half a point because you said MI5 buildings, but it's actually the MI6 building.
Yeah, but so you didn't even know it was that.
I did know that.
What are you talking about? Oh, such a hater.
I think
Do you think I felt like
Don't
you knew
talk
the
to the
answer?
other participant. She doesn't want to be talked to.
What's the score? 3-1.
4-1. Yeah, it's
4 to half. Okay.
4 to half.
Question number. Where am I in 7?
I just want to ask all the Londoners. Do you all know these? But okay, go ahead.
Question number 7. What? Okay. Put your hands up. Yeah. What is the busiest London Underground station? The question is finished. Lyndon was first.
Waterloo.
Correct. Angela?
No, but what do you want from me
Well,
now?
you don't want to write down on your phone, so I
Okay.
won't tell you. Okay. Question number 8. The Millennium Dome is 365 meters in diameter and 52 meters high in the middle. How many supporting poles does it have? You know what? I'm going to say the closest answer, it will get the point.
I ain't got a clue of that.
Come on, mathematics. 365 in diameter and 52 meters high in the middle. How many supporting poles does it have?
Really?
I don't know, 350.
Absolutely incorrect. Angela?
12. That's what you get. Did you see? Take your time, breathe, and answer the question.
12. I don't know how you got that right.
Because I'm a Londoner, I don't have to be stressed by Birminghamites. Next question.
Question number 8. What is illegal to do in the House of Parliament? The question is finished. What is illegal to do in the Houses of Parliament? I'm going to give you guys a countdown.
It's something to do with the guards.
No.
I don't know.
Angela?
I don't know.
Have a guess. You might as well.
Oh, they do everything there. They act like white people.
Have a guess.
The Houses of Parliament?
Yeah. What is illegal to do? It's illegal to die in the Houses of Parliament.
Wow.
Question number 9. 2 more questions.
Illegal to die? Stupid.
What is the only fully independent market in London?
Spitalfields.
Sadly, no.
No.
Lyndon?
Borough?
Yep. Question.
Was that educated guess, or was that because you knew all of that in your head?
Oh, guys. Question number 10. Last and final question. What is the skyscraper at 30 St. Mary Axe better known as?
The Gherkin.
You know what, Angela? I'm going to let her have it,
And
Lyndon.
that is what. Okay, can I also say? So we've closed. You won. Congratulations. Congratulations. You won. Do you want me to give you some more time to celebrate?
Well, I won.
You won. Okay. So I just want to say.
Don't cuss the question.
I just want to say no, but I have to.
No, you don't.
You put on a lovely quiz. Really entertaining, riveting, everything. But what I want to say is, London is out there. Please comment below. if you were giving a quiz about London, would you have asked about these questions? They are London questions.
Let me ask
these
you a
are
question.
London-based questions. The Waterloo question was A-star. Mwah. But my hand didn't go up fast now.
I'm gonna punch you.
But what I want to say is this, yeah. Real Londoners, yeah. All of this stuff is neither here nor there.
Let me tell everybody.
We know London.
Let me tell
All right,
everybody.
so let me just say something.
No,
Let me say something, right?
No, you had your celebration.
So
You wanna
she's
say
talking
anything
to
at your
Londoners.
celebration.
She's talking to Londoners
doesn't-
like I'm not involved because I've been here for 15 years, right? I've been here 15
Tell her.
years and I've taken the time to learn your city and I've learned it better than her who was born here. Okay? All right.
Friend.
And
He didn't even
That's
know-
what- that's
he
what I'm saying,
doesn't-
that's what I'm
He didn't
saying.
even know where Roehampton was and what it had inside of there.
I do know where
We're
Roehampton
not
is.
going to talk about Roehampton
Stephanie.
today. I'm going to tell everybody. I'm not going to have anybody cussing my questions because guess what? I'm not a Londoner, and I'm very happy not to be a Londoner. So
Do you know what? Let me be a
fair. Let me be fair.
Let me be fair.
Yeah.
And let me be a fair non-winner. Okay? A
Loser.
good non-winner.
A good loser.
I'm not a loser in Jesus' name. Don't know about you, but I'm not a winner. A loser in Jesus' name. I absolutely accept that I lost the quiz about London, sponsored by non-Londoners.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of shade.
I
You're
mean,
throwing there.
and maybe I was out of my depth. This
She's
is due to
really
the-
trying and it's not
No,
working.
it's not
Well,
trying. It's
it
not
doesn't
trying.
matter what you
It's-
bring to me,
No.
right? I will always win.
No, you will
That's
not always win. Do you know
fighting.
who G's? Who wins?
I've proven it. I've beaten you twice.
Angela, we all know that Jesus wins. We all
And you
know.
were born in
yeah,
London.
and he has the final say, and that's all I want to hear the final say from Jesus. Are you Jesus? No. So thank you all guys for
I
coming
ain't
to our
Jesus,
quiz.
but I know London and I know the
But
word.
Londoners, I know you and you know me. That's all that matters.
Londoners,
Thank you.
Londoners, don't let her split us up. I may be from
Are you a
Birmingham.
Londoner?
I may be
Are
from
you a
Birmingham.
Londoner?
I may be from
Welcome.
Birmingham. I may be from Birmingham, but I've lived in London for 15 years.
So are you a
I know
Londoner?
this city.
Are you a Londoner?
I know
Let
this
me-
city.
Can I ask a question?
I've lived it all my life.
Can I ask a question? At what point does somebody who's moved to London become a Londoner?
Because
No.
half
One
of
that doesn't at
half-
London every single point that they any
when the-
opportunity
I-
that
at
you
Londoners,
have.
at Londoners.
Londoners think there's only London in the whole of the UK. London think they're better than people from Birmingham. What do you call yourself? Birminghamites.
Brummies.
Nobody's ever
you
spoken
I
to
think that's
Birmingham,
very derogatory term.
Brummies.
I think that's a derogatory term.
derogatory.
I think Birminghamites is nicer. And so that's all I have to say today. I'm in a very good mood, so I'm gonna let it go.
Listen,
But
I'm more London than you are.
No, what are you talking about?
Meanwhile, I don't want to be from London.
Don't let your non-Londoner friends tell you how London you are. That's like
Yeah, but
That's
why?
like,
But why is he? Why is he not? Why is he a non-Londoner? He's lived here for 15 years.
so if I move
Yeah.
to Birmingham,
Yeah.
am I a
If
Birmingham?
you're there for 15 years, why not?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna move now, so when I'm as old as you, I can do a Birminghamite thing. And
There's 4 years. There's 4 years between us.
And just
my
like
friend's mom, my friend's mom was born in Jamaica, then moved to London, and then moved to Birmingham. I think now she'd see herself as a Brummie. She's been there long enough. I've been in London for long enough.
do you know who I want to congratulate?
Respect me.
No, I don't want to talk to you. Do you know who I want to? Do you know who I want to congratulate?
Congratulate me.
Lyndon's parents. I think he did a very good job in making him studious
Amen.
and making him want to aim higher.
Amen.
This is no accolades actually go to you. They go
The
to
person
God.
that-
They go to God and your parents.
Oh, because they
go to
taught
God and your
because they
parents.
taught me about
So I
London.
just want to.
'Cause my parents taught me about London.
What's his dad's name?
I don't remember. It's Auntie Grace.
Auntie
and
Grace and
Stephanie. What's your father-in-law called?
Mr.
Quick.
Grant.
Mr. Grant.
Yeah.
Oh, Uncle Neil.
Leroy.
Leroy.
Auntie Grace
Coulda guessed
and
that.
Coulda done.
and Uncle Leroy, you did an amazing job. This is your accolade. This is your award. Enjoy it. This has nothing to do with Lyndon himself. You're just a vessel.
Because the facts are not in my brain.
Okay. And that's all.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is this is what happens when no
Did
one
you
else
hear
is
that
watching.
the tirade of a
That's
loser?
all I
How
have
are we still
to
here?
say.
The
to you
Tirade of a
today.
loser.
It's not. I'm not a loser. I'm a non-winner. Did you not hear me?
That's also a loser. I'm a non-loser. How about
okay.
that?
Okay. Then that's
And
good.
I'm the
So
question asker, and to be honest, I'm very proud of myself, and I don't want to get involved in the nonsense that these two go through. I'm also not a Londoner, and I'm very happy not to be one. I'm okay with it actually. I will class myself a Northerner for the rest of my life. I'm alright with it.
Do you know what it is? Listen, I was born and bred in Birmingham, right? That's fine. I'm proud of that.
Now he wants to claim you guys. Look at that.
Don't
have
do
him
that.
back.
Don't do that.
Don't have him back.
He's friends with Sideman all day. Don't say that.
You gotta understand,
boys.
right? London as a city, half of the people that live in the city were not born in
That's
this
true.
city.
Or in the
So then
country.
respect us. Okay. Thank you. And that's all we have for today.
Because you're born, they've got respect.
Tune in
respect
next
you.
time.
You don't even know where you
The
live.
time that I bring a what? I don't know where I live.
Don't know
Am
where
I
you
mad
live.
or what?
You don't know where you live. You don't know where you live. You don't know the country you live in.
Thanks for
Tune
watching.
in next time.
Take care.
For another quiz where I beat her again.
No, you're not gonna beat anybody.
Let's go Bible next time.
No.
Let's try that.
We're not doing that. I don't
Why
want
not?
anyone to be embarrassed.
What?
I don't want anyone to be embarrassed.
It won't be.
To
It won't be me.
We're not doing a Bible quiz.
Why not?
Because I don't think it's a good idea.
Why not?
I will never cry. I will always be glad.
Even though she
Thanks.
loses.
I'm not losing. I just came second.
And that's that.
In a 2-horse race.
Leave it alone.
All right. What are we talking about today?
So today we're talking about black-owned art. Are you alright?
Headache.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Spoiler alert. There is none. No, I'm joking. I'm
No,
joking.
there is.
There is. Tyler Perry has a lot of black on.
We're not talking about. I'm sorry, everybody. We're
the
going to have
only-
to remove
he's-
Tyler Perry from
He's the
black-owned.
only one. No, we
He's
can't.
the only what? He's the only what?
The only studio head, black studio head.
Okay, and he gets his accolades, and we clapped him for that.
We can't talk about black owned art and not talk about Tyler Perry.
Okay, then. All right. Let's
Cannot.
time, please. Okay, all right. Lyndon, please educate us. How important has black art been to the world? And what? How has it influenced modern culture? Let me say that again. So, Lyndon, how important has black art been to the world, and how has it influenced modern culture?
Well, there wouldn't be a music industry as it is today without black music. Wouldn't exist.
Okay, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's that.
Oh, right.
Wouldn't
That's
exist.
on that.
And not only music industry, fashion wouldn't look like what it looks like right now.
Mhm.
Language, I think, would look completely different.
Language.
Like the language that people use, and the way I think a lot of modern the way what people like, fashion, like the way we speak to each other, darts, everything has been influenced by black people and especially black music.
Has it been influenced or do we have it? Like, is it ours and it's been like diluted or trickled down, or have we influenced what's already in existence?
We have art. It's ours, and then it also influences other people's as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's both.
Mm-hmm.
When you say it's ours, what do you mean it's ours? Like we own it, or
Our
it
culture.
comes from us?
I mean,
It comes from
maybe.
us.
Oh yeah, it comes from us. All of it comes
Yeah.
from us, but whether we own it or not is another conversation.
Why do you think that's like, if we're talking about like fashion, music, language, like anything that's creative, if we're saying that like everything, or for the most part, most things have come from our culture,
So that's a sweeping.
what are you saying?
Maybe if we're talking about music, is what I know is just all black,
Yeah.
right? If you're talking about other things, it might be a bit more complicated.
Okay. Well, let's start with music then. So if music has come from black culture,
Mhm.
why is it that we don't have black owned music, or like, and I'm talking not just, I'm like record labels and I don't know, studios, and I don't know, like, I don't know how the hierarchy
Because white people always
works.
had the money.
Right, okay.
And it was more palatable if it was coming from a white person
What do
to
you mean?
to the masses. So someone can sing write the song,
Mhm.
but they need a white face to sell it.
I don't know if that was actually true, though. Because if you look at jazz, there's a lot of black jazz greats, like from back in like the 30s or 20s. They were, I think, in America, they were very, actually around the world, they're very comfortable being entertained by black people.
But on a small scale, in terms of like playing for people live, or
Yeah.
maybe making music, but for like worldwide, like Elvis, he sang a lot of songs that were written.
Yeah, but then before that, you
By-
gotta remember, if it's recording music, you can't really see the faces
Yeah,
doing it anyway.
exactly.
So that's kind of a newish thing.
Yeah.
But
It's
if you
not
talk about
selling what
right at
they-
the start,
Yeah.
it'd be just, and even then, it sounds kind of soft now, then it probably sounded really black.
Mm.
So I don't know, but I mean, if it's not classical, it's black,
Yeah.
and even then, that's another conversation we need to have. But I'm not ready for that one yet.
Man, I was telling Lyndon that literally my music teacher spent the first week of our music class telling us that if anything that's got the 4/4 like beat,
Mhm.
is black music. So whether it's rock, whether it's come from black music, whether it's rock, whether it's punk, whatever it is, anything that has that beat has come from
That's
black
so progressive
music.
of your music teacher. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
in my
nobody
school,
told us that.
no one told me that. They just told me that the slave trade didn't even exist. What are you talking about?
Didn't exist.
Yeah.
The slave trade didn't exist.
It didn't exist to the extent that we thought it did, and then told me that Bristol didn't have a key part to play in it
with their
at
port.
all. With the whole of Bristol named after like slave owners and like Black Boy Hill and White Ladies Road, all this kind of stuff. Wow, so that's really progressive of your music teacher. But yeah. I guess the question I'm really trying to understand or trying to ask is, at what point did music, or take music as an art form, why don't we own black music, I guess? Because you're saying it's because white people have got all the money.
They had the money. They started it.
But black people still have the money. Like, we have money now.
The same money?
Well,
It's not the same money. It's not the same level of money. What was it? We were watching earlier. BET was the first ever black company to be traded on the New York Stock Exchange in 1991.
Wow.
The music business has existed since the 50s. That the way it is now has existed since the 50s. So they've always had the money, and they've had the monopoly on the system. Apart from, there's Motown though. So Motown, they were a private company, but obviously now Motown is owned by one of the big companies. But so I guess that's kind of a slightly different thing. But Motown was music for black people. That's how it started. It's music for black people, because obviously there's money to be had from black people, and everything was so separate that you needed something for black people. So that's how Motown was what they are. But now that everything's integrated, Motown is not even owned by black people anymore. I think it's Universal that owns Motown.
and even when I think about like gospel music as well, like, to be honest, the majority of like gospel music, as not CCM but gospel music, it's sung by black artists, written by black artists, produced by black artists, but like the record labels that house them, are they black? I know Kurt Franklin had a record label.
Yeah, but it'll be, so most record labels would have a bigger one
behind it.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know which one. Let me just look what Kurt Franklin's is.
So his
it's
was
For Your
called,
Soul, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if he still has that record label. But I guess what I'm saying is, I don't know that many black-owned record labels. And when you think about the whole genre of music as gospel, you would just imagine that that somebody would own it who's black. This is the music that we're putting out day in, day out for a very black audience. And I don't know who, I know that, for instance, Kiara Sheard, she's signed to her brother's label, but they operate underneath someone else's label.
They all these labels that you hear, there's so many labels, but they all come back to the same few. There's only big three in the world now. There's Sony, Universal, and Warner Brothers. Those are the three big music industry companies. And then they have all the other little ones underneath. All of them. So how is a black person supposed to own something themselves unless they're independent? That's
so do you think
label.
that's kind of like the route forward then for art? Like, is the way forward for us to own it to be independent?
Well, I don't know about music, because music is we actually yeah. I'm gonna say that
It's always hard for the first few, because I think obviously they've got, I guess you tend to have to go with the bigger labels or be under a bigger label because of distribution and the way they've set it up, like the barriers to get in and to actually make money from what you're doing. They've set it up that you have to go through them. So I guess, I mean, and especially in this age of like everything being online, I guess it's easier to do it yourself or be independent, but still I think you're probably losing out on the initial benefits of being like widely distributed and like the money to back you. That's a lot of funding.
Yeah, all that initial capital that's needed to really like promote you. I guess the reason why I'm asking the question is because I watched this Netflix documentary about black women called She Did That, I think. A really interesting documentary actually. And they were just talking about female entrepreneurs. So there's this hairline, Linda, I don't know if you've heard of it, called Carol's Daughter. started by a black lady. I used to really like their products, American, whatever. I think she started mixing the products in her house, like literally in her kitchen. Her and her husband decided to, I think initially it was like a side hustle, then it became much more of a main hustle. And so she was like, actually, this stuff is taking over my life. Let me just decide to stop my main job and just focus on this, her and her husband together. It did fantastically well. So much so that they caught the attention of L'Oreal, right? L'Oreal offered them, I'm assuming, millions of dollars to, I don't know if she sold her brand, but basically she's now like the CFO or CEO of the brand under L'Oreal, which I think is fantastic. But actually, I think after that show, she got a lot of backlash from people saying that her product was no longer black owned. She sold out, and that she, and so there was a lot of social media images and infographics like floating around at the time talking about black owned products versus non-black owned products, and they put Carol's daughter on the non-black owned products because she had sold her hairline.
She sold part of it to L'Oreal.
She sold part of it to L'Oreal. But for me, like we were just talking about, unless like the only way for you to really to own your stuff is to be independent, right? And then unless you're not going to be independent, then I guess you need to have the backing of all these private labels. It's the same thing in the hairline industry or like in fashion. Like you can be independent until you attract the attention of a large conglomerate, at which point, to me, it makes sense. You should do what's best for you and your family, which for the most part is probably to sell at least a portion or part of it, still remain, I guess, in control of the creative direction, whatever, and then continue to make money off your product that you've put your heart and soul into. But the backlash that she got from the community, like from the black community, to me, I felt was really unfair because they were saying she'd sold out. But what else? What are you supposed to do?
So there's a couple of things, a couple of ways you can look at it. So could she not have still operated without selling to L'Oreal?
Don't know.
It depends what your
Why would she not be able to?
I don't know. She didn't really talk about that. They spoke in the documentary. She spoke about how hard her and her husband did it, blah blah blah, and then she kind of just said, and we got offered a fantastic deal. She didn't really go into the figures or what the deal included, but she's still very much like in charge of the direction of Carol's daughter.
They took the ownership away from her. I don't know what the deal was. It might be a part ownership or something, but they've taken some of the ownership of her work from her and given her a job. So she's now an employee.
But do you know, it depends what success looks like. It depends what your aim was going into this. If your aim was to do very well and then sell it on, get money and start another business. So many people do that.
But she's not doing that though, is she?
No, but
I don't know what she's doing. I don't know.
We don't know. But if they've even had that good of a deal, if you can if you can maintain some kind of creative direction, like you can continue to give them a creative direction, and you've got money to start another baby business and do something else. If that's what success looks like to you, go ahead and do it. I think sometimes, depending on what your intention was when you started, that might not mean success. You might want to have your black owned business and it remain black owned. And that's fair enough, and you continue to do that. But if that was her aim, why? I mean, to me, I don't understand why not. Unless they're like sunning you, like unless they're like, okay, I'm gonna buy your company, and now you're gonna work for me, and you have no choice in that. That's when I think that you've been done.
Well, she can leave. Yeah, she leaves her business, I think, which she might want to do. And let's be clear. Obviously, you can do what you want. You can sell your business to other people.
Yeah,
that's fine. But we're never going to have a lot of black owners if you keep selling it to white companies, because they're buying it from you.
Yeah,
because they're going to make more money on that business.
Yeah, but
so why can't you make that money yourself?
No, because
we just spoke about the initial barriers to entry.
Yeah.
So like barriers to entry in the haircare industry are ridiculous. So like I'm sure that when L'Oreal came along, they were like, so rather than you whipping it up in your house or in a small factory, we will just take it for you and we will make it on a mass scale at a fraction of the price, and we'll send it out to our distributors. Like, put it this way, Lyndon, I can walk into Superdrug and I can buy black hair products, because certain companies have like decided to sell a portion or do distribution deals with lots of other people, as opposed to when I was growing up, like when I was 10, I had to go to a particular shop at a particular time after school before it closed to buy the products. So for me, I'm like, I don't understand why people, like you rightly said, can't maybe try and strike a deal where they can benefit from a larger organization taking on some of that brunt, or some of that really high intense capital. Because ultimately, unless they do, how are black businesses ever going to get to the point where we have the long money that white counterparts have?
The first thing is to own your stuff by yourself. That's the first thing.
And so, okay.
And the thing is, I'm not advocating to not selling your stuff if you want to sell it and make more money, make quick money. If that's what you want to do, fine. But if you want to make money in the long run, which is what they're doing by taking your business,
yeah, of course.
That's what you got to do. You got to keep it yourself.
But sometimes
Yeah,
the
of course.
opportunities that such a big company like L'Oreal has are not the same as some. Like maybe she's taking it as far as she can as a individual, and they've got the way they can mass produce it.
I think she was saying she was also very tired. She was like, me and my husband were up at the
if she doesn't want to do it anymore,
I don't
then
think
that
she
makes
was saying
sense.
that.
But that makes sense. If she was tired and she didn't want it, fine. But then we can't complain about not having black-owned businesses when we're selling them out to white companies, because then it's not a black-owned business anymore and we don't have them.
Yeah.
So we can't talk about black-owned business if we're going to sell them to white companies, because now that's a white-owned business.
It's the same thing with Shea Moisture. Again, they're owned by a large conglomerate. I can't remember whom, but Shea Moisture also sold out. And I think I understand what you're saying. I guess what I'm saying is I don't think they deserve the backlash from the black community saying you sold out, because I'm like, I think...
Has it affected the product in any way?
Not Carol's daughter, I don't think so.
So are they upset?
I think
because
the quality of the product. I think people in the black community were frustrated, saying that they wanted to support a black-owned business.
Yeah, well, they got
as
to support another one then.
This is it.
Unless if it's a product that they had, and now that it's owned by L'Oreal, it's not the same product anymore. That's a reason to complain.
No, but
it's a good reason to complain.
If the reason why. If the reason why they were supporting the product in the first place was because if that was a main thing, if that was a unique selling point, that the fact that it was black owned, there's a way you feel like let down or nearly like bamboozled or just you sold into the idea that I'm buying from a black owner. And I think when it becomes L'Oreal, then you start to lose, if that's a main thing, you start to lose the desire to continue to support that product, whether the product will stay the same. I think maybe it's just the idea behind it.
The thing is, most times if the product stays the same, people don't usually know who owns the product, because the branding the branding might just stay the same, all that kind of stuff. But if the product changes and then people start to think, oh, what's going on here? Oh, it's a white company now.
I think there's
we've got to find another one because we want to support black business. So if a black business then becomes a white business, we've got to find another one then.
Well, I think that's where people are now, and I think there's nothing wrong with it. Like if your motivation to support Carol's daughter or any other hairline was because it was a black-owned business, if that's your motivation, then you go and find another one. I was supporting As I Am because I loved it and I thought it was a black-owned business. Turns out it's owned by a Pakistani doctor. I said, nah, I'm out.
And there's a thing that makes...
I did feel bamboozled. I really did.
If you're making takeaway, you're ordering the food, always tastes the same. You've gone there a couple of times, but you usually get delivery, and then randomly you rock up one time, not because it tastes any different, but just because you want to pick up the food and you find that it's Italian.
Yeah, that happens.
You would get angry, even if the food stayed the same. There's a part of you, and especially black, and especially black people, that the fact that you feel like everything that, even if it's yours, it's supposed to be yours, is sold to you by somebody else, whether it's your music, whether it's your food, maybe not food, but whether it's your hair stuff, like it's that like veil kind of like being taken away and realizing, oh my gosh, even though I felt like it was by us for us, it's actually them who have no like black hair products. What is Sally doing with I don't know, eco-styler?
Sally's making money. Making a whole lot of money. So I get it, but I think to myself, if I was working on a hairline product or like a hairline, and then I was approached by somebody, to be honest, it really depends on where I am in my financial status.
Absolutely.
What I'm doing with my family. Does my family need capital? Like, am I trying to there's so many different factors, and I think owning our own art is the long-term game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But if I need to pay a bill, if I need to buy this right now, and I don't have that money to do so, or if I have family obligations, I need to do what's best for my family. And I feel like with her, she was like, we were getting woken up at 5 a.m. in the morning with people saying, can I have more products? And we could not
They
mix
couldn't employ
it.
people.
If you,
I don't know why, but
if
she
you've taken
do
it to
it.
the
there are ways to expand your business. If your business is doing well, there are ways that smart business people would learn how to expand it. And obviously, when you get to a certain capacity, you've got to employ people. So you're not doing all the work. Wake up every morning at 5 o'clock.
Maybe they didn't have their margins correct.
Then
So
if you don't have the acumen to do that, then either you need to employ people that do have that, or then just sell it, or sell it if you don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, and I mean,
But then what does that say about black business owners who can't flipping hack it?
but I think I mean, I'm not saying that we can't hack it, but I think there are instances and examples of people who have got great business ideas and sold them on.
Do you think L'Oreal didn't start the way they started?
Absolutely not. But L'Oreal probably started on slave money, to be honest.
Probably.
Like everyone else,
Probably.
like Unilever.
Probably,
like
but then we can't
else.
complain about black business because we're never going to get there.
No.
Exactly.
Now you've
It's
gone
not-
to the extreme.
No, exactly. So we got to get there some way, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It takes time.
Yeah,
and
it does
to be
take
honest,
time.
to get that big takes generations.
Yeah, it does. So let's look at. So I actually haven't watched Madam C.J. Walker's biopic. I haven't watched it,
I've watched it.
but
watched a little bit
her
of it.
business took a time. But where's her hairline? I don't support her hairline. Like I don't know what's
but, I
happening
mean,
with that.
That was hair products for people who were black to make their hair look like white people.
People still straighten their hair, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't
People
know
are
if you
still
want to
straightening
be.
their hair.
Yeah, they are. But do you want to be
I'm
supporting
not.
that?
I'm not promoting straight hair unless you want to have straight hair because I'm not a natural hair Nazi. Do what you want. But what I'm
No, but I'm talking about the what they used then. I
Right.
don't know if you could use that stuff.
But she still has a business, right? And I'm saying
I
like
don't. I'm
Is
not
No,
it
she
sure.
still
does.
I
owned
don't
by
think so.
her?
it's owned by
Is it
it's owned by her like grand niece or granddaughter or something. I had a look at it.
Are still people still buying CJ?
I don't
Hold on a
think-
second.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice if someone stays in for the long run. It'd be nice to, in the future, have big companies like L'Oreal and the likes be owned by black people, or we have our own companies that are able to produce on that mass scale. But in the meantime, if you got to do what you got to do, and maybe the black person has taken their business, especially when it has something to do with like actual physical production, to the capacity to where they can take it as an individual, and they actually to hold on to it for however many years longer while they try to build up their capital to take it to the next stage, might be a disservice to them. And actually, the demand for the product, it could do wonders. Even just the name, or even just the fact that this person is the one that created this product, even just that accolade, like it's done wonders and it's gone all around the world. It's now being sold worldwide. I don't know. You just have to see what's in it for you, or what your goal is. And if your goal is to maintain the, what am I looking for?
Status
If your
quo.
goal is to maintain control and ownership of your business, do it no matter what, and you'll find a way to take it to the next level. If it's not,
What we keep hearing from a lot of pro-black activists that want to talk about the economics of black people, right? They talk about the fact that our dollars or pounds don't stay in our community.
yeah,
So they don't stay in our community because we don't own our businesses. If we want to own our businesses, we cannot sell them out so much to white businesses because that's the dollar going straight out
yeah,
to the
Not
white
coming back.
yeah.
community. That's it's as
absolutely.
simple as that. And I know I can understand why someone might want to sell the business. Fine, if you built a business and want to cash in on it, that makes sense. But if you want to build the economic base of black people, you got to hold these businesses and own them as black people. You've got to.
Shifting gears ever so slightly, I was doing a little bit of research and I completely agree with what you're saying. I think having money within your community is the only way to have like true economic growth, yeah? And to build legacies, 100% hands down, yeah? And I completely understand that. One thing that shocks me, and it's kind of going back to the bamboozle point, is about where you think you are supporting a black business and actually come to realise you're really not. And I think that surprise element doesn't only just happen with like hair or fashion or whatever. It happens on other larger scales. So Shout out to my best friend Malimo. Basically, we were having a chat about this. She sent me a link where she was just explaining to me that, to be honest, I'd say 80 to 90% of all the African fabric that is worn, designed, like basically created, is owned by a Dutch company in the Netherlands, and it's imported to the whole of Africa. And everything that we understand to be African print, so the waxed African print, is actually like a hybrid of some African designs now and batik that Dutch people discovered when they invaded invaded Indonesia and called it something else. I don't know what they called it, but at the time it was called something else, and now it's known as Indonesia. And they saw street sellers creating these batiks like on a individual basis. They went back to the Netherlands and they're like, listen, we can create this. Let's take their method and make it better. And they started creating these batiks. Then they started using it to barter with West Africans. Well, it says barter. Who even knows? But basically, the influx of this, what we now call, I would say, like modern day African print, came from the Netherlands. And to this day, 90% of that print is created in the Netherlands. And so the majority of lots of the different print housing are all owned by this company called Velisco, I think. Vlisco. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I've seen that.
You just talk close.
The majority of really, and I'm so loud.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. The majority of all the prints that are created are owned by this mega house. So basically, like L'Oreal, they're a conglomerate. They own lots of small individual ones for a range of people. So they've got completely really high end to very low end. And so, yeah, I was really shocked to find out that actually all the African print I've ever bought in my life, and I bought African print from Shepherd's Bush Market, I bought African print in Swaziland, in Kenya, like I bought African print in Zimbabwe, in Petticoat Lane. And even when I go to Petticoat Lane and I feel like I'm trying to do the best thing by buying from the black-owned store, first of all, they're not always black-owned. Sometimes they're owned by a non-black person with black people working in as a front, but sometimes they are owned by black people. When I make a decision to go and buy the African print from that black-owned person, come to realize actually it's all owned by a Dutch company, and many people don't realize that, and they think they're supporting their black business. And for me, again, it's that whole thing of surprise, ha ha ha, we fooled you. And to me, that's a bit more concerning, because the perception is we're buying from our own and we're supporting Ankara fashions, or we're supporting this particular
and you know, it's weird.
And it's all produced in the Netherlands.
And you know, I think the aspect, I'm trying to figure out why it feels like such a bamboozle. I think when it's a black person,
Sub-second, you lot are both like,
okay, when it's a black person, making a product, when it's someone who would use the product, making the products and selling it to their fellow community members, it feels like there's this level of service that they're delivering. And sometimes it can feel like when it's not someone who has any kind of passion or investment in that particular product or its use, it feels like you're nearly being used.
They're not serving their community's needs.
No, they're here to take your money. You know what? I'm going to make what you need and you can buy it from me. I'm going to take your money.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. I mean, obviously they are providing a service.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's why I feel like it feels a bit...
it feels like a bamboozlement.
Yeah, it feels like a bamboozlement.
This guy calls it...
hold on a second. Were we supposed to be talking about art?
Yeah, this is fashion.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay.
Like, this is
so this guy Tunde Akinwumi published a paper in the Journal of Pan-African Studies. Do you know that was a journal? I didn't know. Anyway, whatever. And he called it the African print hoax. And I think that sums up like completely. We're all buying African print thinking we're supporting black business, or specifically African business. Come to realize actually we're all being bamboozled. Every single one of us. Because if we trace it back, this Dutch company, it wasn't that it started off as a Dutch company and now it's owned, but no. It's still owned by Dutch people. The print is produced in the Netherlands and it's shipped to West Africa, and then it basically disseminates across Africa. And they employ there's a Nigerian guy talking about, so basically we've got a plan to take over Africa, and we've got high end, and he said we're going to enter the East African market and do this, that, and the other. And I was like, it's a whole strategy. It's a whole plan. It's not by accident. It's not, oh, whoopsie. No. It's a whole strategy. And they're employing, in my opinion, Nigerians to ensure that it looks like the whole supply chain is black owned, when actually it really isn't.
I want to find out where the material that Rwandans make their traditional wear from comes from, because I don't think it's completely different.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's from India. Probably is. But yeah, that definitely hoax. Couldn't find a better word to describe it than that.
So now I'm starting to really think, do I really have to consider, I have to research everything that I'm buying to figure out if what is being presented to me as a black-owned business is really black-owned? Do you know what I mean?
Do you think there's still benefit in still buying those anyway, supporting black culture?
I personally...
Is it even if it's been sold, or if it was created and designed and everything in the Netherlands, like you said, is it even black culture? Like, I feel like even for the aesthetics of it, like still wearing Ankara, wearing like...
Yeah, they are selling black culture to black people, but getting all the profits.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
I would personally buy items of clothing from black designers.
Ankara as well, because that's a completely different type of material. It's a different type of material.
This is specifically the wax.
The wax one,
the wax ones.
and that's Ankara is a completely different
so not
type
Ankara,
of material.
sorry.
No.
This is. But I have loads of wax material, and I've literally bought it all over the world, thinking that I'm, out here trying to be authentic as possible.
Meanwhile, if you lift up, it says made in Netherlands.
Well, it doesn't, but it bloody should do, because then maybe I wouldn't be buying it. Do you know what I
I don't think I've
mean?
ever bought anything that says made in a black country in my life.
I bought
That's
something.
wild, isn't it?
I bought something the other day and it said made
Apart
in
from
Swaziland.
D&G ginger beer, but
Where's that made?
I don't know who owns that. I know
they're
D&G
not-
is supposed to be a Jamaican company, but I don't know if they really are. They're
Absolutely
probably not.
not. Absolutely not.
Have you heard that?
Well, let's find out.
Let's
shall
find out.
we?
I'm
There's
pretty
a-
sure
there's an-
D&G is owned by Indians.
No, there's an advert going on at the moment for ginger beer. I don't know if it's a D&G one, but it's for ginger beer, and I know that no black person. I really hope that there wasn't any black person, but no black person had input into that.
Well,
Yeah.
D&G
Yeah.
is Jamaican owned.
Oh.
Headquarters in Kingston, Jamaica.
Oh
Who owns
yeah.
Who owns it?
The chairman is Richard Biles.
Take it back.
Hmm?
I said take it back. I take it back.
I don't know who that is though, but it's just the chairman. But it's revenues in Jamaica. It's a Jamaican company.
Oh yeah.
You know what? That's very refreshing to see.
Yeah, we got one. We're helping out.
I'd be so sad if I found that all of those like not Fruit Loaf. What is it? What's that bun? Bun. All of those buns.
Oh yeah, but they're
bun
like,
and cheese and all of those
nah.
bakeries were not owned by. Yeah, it's a white person.
Well, he's Jamaican, but he's just very, very fair skinned. So
he's
we don't worry about that. He's a
He's
black.
black.
Jamaicans out of many one people.
Yeah, I know, but
And
he's
that's a
black
lie.
anyway.
90% was a black. But anyway, let's not get into the Jamaican people. Let's go.
Let's not anger, please,
I have
Lyndon.
nothing
Let's
to
not
add,
anger.
nothing to take away. I'm just here.
You're saying you'd be devastated if you found out that the bun company would be the bun people who make the bun and the hardo bread were not Jamaican.
I'll be so devastated. I'll be so devastated.
No, so most of that stuff is made in the bakery in West Bromwich, isn't it? In the Midlands, there's a massive bakery that makes
Well, I
it, and
don't
I
think
know
that
because my friend
they're
makes
sending
it.
bread from Jamaica to the UK. I doubt that they're doing that. But
No, but so what I'm saying is the majority of the bread that we get, well, not majority, but I know that the bread that we get in Bristol comes from like, the West Midlands, either West Bromwich or somewhere like that. And my mum knows the people who work in the factory. So I can say that they're black. Who owns the factory? I don't know.
Jamaicans got rum though.
They do have rum.
Appleton Estate, they do Appleton rum. And
You know
do
they sold it.
Sold what?
Appleton, the family who behind Appleton Rum sold that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
Factory's still in Jamaica.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that I don't. If we're using the same logic, I don't believe it's still black owned.
Let's check.
I know the person who had the family and the father sold it. I can say that for a fact. It's a private company, so they don't have to disclose that information.
You'll find that everything. Usually find it on Wikipedia.
Go ahead, Lyndon. Find everything. Lyndon is Google.
Why am I not supposed to look for this?
I mean, one could or one could not.
It's Jay, Ray, and nephew.
Everybody, this is the day in the life of Fabrice and Angela.
But forget it then. Forget it then. Just keep talking.
Lyndon is searching.
Can you just keep talking, please?
Okay.
Just get on my nerves. Come on, man.
No, not on the nerves.
You know, we rarely annoy Lyndon, so when he says you're getting on my nerves, it's actually time to fix up. The only other thing I kind of wanted to talk about is, do you think there's like a trend? Like, do you think we're ever going to get to a point where Black people are in positions of greater financial freedom and can begin? Oh my goodness! Let me start again.
It's a Jamaican company. Sorry, it might be started by slave traders, but now the people that run the company are Black Jamaicans.
Appleton Rum.
Yeah. Because they died in it. They didn't pass it down to their family. I actually remember they were talking about this when I went to the tour, the factory. And there's all Black people there, Black people working there, and Black people explaining to us who runs it, and the person that runs it is called Joy Spence. You can tell me Joy Spence is not a Black woman.
That's not. I said they sold the company. But let me ask.
How do you retain that information?
Let me ask Mel right
that
now.
The person they said that owns it is Joy Spence. Oh, is that what
No,
you
it just said
now?
Joy Spence.
Oh, I thought they still told you then.
They did.
Let me fact check. Dad, did your friends say his dad sold Appleton Rum? Appleton Rum. Rum.
Oh no. It's an L. It's an L. 2012.
No!
They sold it.
Thank you very much. She said no. Thank you
Thank you very much. Friends.
It's an L. An Italian spirits company bought it in 2012.
Bring up yourself.
Thanks. You know, sometimes you just don't have
What a
to
good fight.
argue. Sometimes you just say, okay.
That's what I say.
Oh, we still got D&G.
That's what I'm saying. Let's hold tight to D&G.
What they need to do is bring Juicy Patties to the UK. Because oh my gosh.
They can't. How
Why not?
I don't think they would.
Why not?
But you know we have very
Did you have Juicy Patties?
every day I had juicy patties and I had a
Do
juicy
you know how
loaf.
delicious those patties
You know,
are?
I've been to Jamaica 3 times.
Okay, so why are you arguing with me?
I'm not arguing with you. I'm saying I don't think they're going to bring juicy patties to the UK.
I think they should.
I mean, they should bring a lot of food to the UK, but ain't going to do it. Listen, let me tell you, there's too many companies. You know, there's like a patty company in Stratford. They bake the patty.
There was a patty company in Leicester Square.
Oh, the Jamaican patty company.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying.
Yeah, and a white woman served me a patty, and I wasn't happy about that.
But maybe.
Out of many one people.
It was a.
That's rude.
Listen, it was a Polish white woman.
She could have been working there.
It was
so
a
what?
Polish white woman
She
giving me
doesn't deserve
patties.
she doesn't deserve to
Listen,
work?
there's no.
The views of Lyndon of LGK Music or LGK Media.
Sorry, none of Polish
LGK
listeners
media.
anyway.
Absolutely not shared by me. I don't
Listen,
know
all
what-
I'm saying is I want
I'm
Juicy
just-
Patties to come to the UK because those patties were the best patties I've ever had in my life.
Listen, those patties are sick here. What you
They're
have to do when you leave in
incredible.
Jamaica, you go on the day. Yeah, you wrap the patties up and you put them in between your luggage so that when you get to the UK, you can freeze them. Everybody does that when they come back. My mum's used to bring
I didn't do
boxes
that. I
back.
just had it every day,
You have to bring
every
it
morning.
back.
It was breakfast.
Anyway,
I just want someone to take me to the juicy patties before they get here. Why don't you take me to Jamaica?
Lyndon only took himself to Jamaica last year.
2 years ago.
I'm telling you, we should go and do Black No Filter in Jamaica, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well, we're gonna argue with the
Will the
Jamaicans when we get
Jamaican
there.
people welcome us? I know you will. I love you, my Jamaican people. I just want to say also the Rwandans. I'm not saying I'm Jamaican. I'm just saying I love people around the world.
Anyway, guys, the only thing I also wanted to ask was, going back to what I was saying, do you think now there are enough Black people with financial freedom to begin to turn the tide on having of owning our own art? And I mean art across any industry. So fashion, music, clothes, like beauty, like anything.
Yes.
I think it's slowly happening. I think the first stage is people being aware and also wanting to buy from Black-owned businesses. I think when there's a desire to buy from Black-owned businesses, then I think there's more of an incentive and a desire, and maybe an acknowledgement that maybe I should keep control and ownership of my business. I think this is the first wave, and then also people being having more money, being wealthier to be able to make those decisions, and people actually doing it. Like
I think
Tyler
the issue for
Like Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
Listen, we'll talk about Tyler Perry, but I mean, I think the issue is that people need investment.
Yeah.
You need a cash injection. That's how businesses start. They go to the bank and ask for a loan. Not everyone gets some money from their daddy's bank and starts a business. People get loans.
But you never know. In a couple of generations, that might happen.
They could get it now. They should be getting it now. There's entrepreneurs that need to, first of all, you need to be educated enough to understand the financial part about business and get the money and start running your business, because there's people with the ability to run a business or the ability to do something special that other people might need, and maybe they might need some business help. But there's definitely people in the UK that are black that have the business acumen to help them.
Yeah,
there's definitely that, but they need the people to be willing to work for a black startup.
Which is rare.
These people are going to want to work for Barclays or whatever, right?
I think that's changing slowly.
But not only that, I read an article about a couple of entrepreneurs who are operating out of San Francisco, so like and Silicon Valley, and they were saying that they had tried for years to get venture capitalists and like angel investors to invest in their business. In the end, what they started to do was they started to partner with like a white person to front the business, and they would send that person in, and lo and behold,
wild. This is the same how when they started trying to get property, but black people trying to buy properties in white areas, they had to find someone.
It's the same struggle
to get loans to start their business. Yes, loans to start their businesses. They had to send a white person in.
You have to watch a bank.
Yeah, it's a good one. This is so wild. It's so wild.
Then here we go. Racism wins again.
No, it doesn't win. The story's still being told.
So I would like to actually see, like, I know we've got people like Jay-Z who's really investing into black art. Like, that's like his big thing, right? And has been for a long time. I'm not really into art. Like, literally the art that you hang out, that's not really my thing. I think it's beautiful. I don't know really enough about it. It's not my passion to really invest in it. But he's investing in that. LeBron is investing in Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah, they have to, the way they got their money up, the way they is by rapping and playing basketball.
No, I understand
so
that.
every black guy knows that they can get money if they rap.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with Carol's daughter making her money and selling it. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. What I'm saying is, really, the next barrier to really overcome is actually, let's start having some black angel investors and black venture capitalists who want to invest. So I'd be really excited to see LeBron producing something like that. You know, like, I know he has his I believe school.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing because education literally changes lives. So that I think he's looking back at supply chain and looking back at like factors that affect people, especially in America, and thinking, okay, what can I do? But actually, you can build a school, but at the other end of the scale is we need people to invest in people who are graduates and who are coming up with amazing ideas, so that actually we can really continue to be black owned and it really stays in our community.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I don't see anybody doing that.
Yeah, well, we need our people that have the money to do that. Obviously, we need our.
But we've got them. There's enough people out there. If you stop buying Birkin bags,
Yes, I mean,
and stop auditioning people for Birkin bags, I feel like we can do it.
The ability is there. The business acumen is there. You just need the opportunity.
And then maybe a stroke of luck. Like, a lot of things happen because of luck. You're in the right place at the right time. And I don't think we should underestimate that.
And say what you want about Tyler Perry. If he worked for a big studio, he's not going to be getting accolades for being a great filmmaker. We know that much. But how many studio heads could make films like him? They probably couldn't. They hire writers. If he was just a studio head, then he could hire black writers. And there's many talented black writers. That's what he probably needs to do, but he's writing everything himself, which is another thing. But he's in a position to do that. But you gotta appreciate the fact that he made it to where he is. He's got, a studio that everyone's using.
Yeah, to be honest, Tyler Perry, clap for yourself because you've done very well.
He's a studio head. He owns it.
That's amazing.
Entirely.
That's amazing. And I think as well, not only does he own it entirely, like he is out there inspiring every other filmmaker to think,
Absolutely.
I want to also own my own studio. Like it's possible. It can be done. He's done it and I want to do it. Also, I hear that he's very philanthropic. Like I just hear like he's a nice guy.
It probably is.
So more power to him. His films are trash.
Most of them. There must be some good ones. Somewhere.
Why must there be?
There must be.
Okay.
To be honest, when I saw the first one,
Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Yeah, I like
that's
that.
all right.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I take it back. Not all your films are trash.
Yeah. And if there's any philanthropy coming my way, don't let these people hinder it by saying that your films are trash. I haven't even seen the trash ones yet to even say that they're trash.
Oh yeah, you haven't.
You
seen
haven't
it.
seen the trash ones?
Yeah, she hasn't seen it.
Have you seen any Tyler Perry films? It was probably trash.
I said don't get me
Anyway,
angry.
Tyler Perry, I would like to see something like the Tyler Perry Foundation, like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
And I think
I'd like to see that sort of stuff.
And maybe he's making it
Oh, that
more
villain.
accessible for people who want to produce movies to have access to studios, to all of those that equipment that maybe they would have been at greater barriers to get that from the likes of, I don't know, Paramount, all of those them people there.
DreamWorks.
You'd hope he'd get there eventually.
Warner Brothers.
What?
Huh?
Wait, what?
We're right within ourselves. Right. So
You'd hope he'll get there at some point. He'll get there at some point.
He will get there.
he can't use
He just
all
built-
of those studios to create.
He's not. So a lot of films were. So
He
the
doesn't
film.
create musicals anymore. Where have you been?
I said, how many movies does he create every day
No.
to use
So
that whole
what you need to understand is
plot
that
of
so
land?
there was a film. I'm pretty sure, Bad Boys for Life, the Will Smith film
third one.
that was shot at his studios.
Yeah.
The Eddie Murphy film, the last one he did,
Mm-hmm.
Dolomite Is My Name, that was filmed at Tyler Perry Studios. He's got films working there, not just his films.
I remember we're taking back
His
the
films,
Black Hand that was exiting. It's coming just a little bit back now, just entering back into at least.
I mean,
it's going
the movie business is because those films are not owned by black studio heads because the money goes straight back to white people, but at least films are being made at his studio, so he gets paid a fee for the music in his studio.
He's there, isn't he? Like he's there in the supply chain. Like,
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah, exactly.
He's stand out, and for that he gets his accolades.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Yeah.
So I know we're not doing slap and clap.
Oh wait! Before we go into that,
Oh.
can I also say people who live and have grown up and who are currently in. Let me start that again. People whose homes are in countries that are majority black, so across Africa, across the Caribbean. Maybe I think the idea should change from coming here to work for already established white companies and actually establishing black-owned companies in those countries, because you'll be surprised how many companies back home are owned by white people who have come to now establish. They can't establish those companies where they come from because there's already a monopoly there. So they'll go to another developing country and start building those kind of like, let's give this service, let's give that service. And meanwhile, our generation are trying to come over here to work for a white company. I think maybe the idea needs to change, and actually a great way for us to have more black-owned companies in the future is for us to really be looking, like be ahead of the curve and actually have our companies in our home countries.
Amen. Shout out to Nollywood.
Shout out to Nollywood, because Nollywood they don't stop.
They don't sleep.
They've even had a film already called Entanglement. That's how quickly they work.
I
They
flipping
do
love it.
not sleep. They say, what's trending? Right.
And let me tell you,
Get your cameras
And
out.
I know someone that's watched it. That someone that I had a session with a couple of days ago. They watched it.
I'm gonna watch it. I love Nollywood. You know what?
I haven't watched Nollywood film in a while.
What? I watched them for
There's some
show.
high quality. There's some high quality.
There are some high quality
Nollywood
ones.
films on Netflix.
Yeah,
and I
there
love
are.
watching them. I love them.
There are also some
I'm
really
going to
bad
watch
ones
some
on
more.
Netflix, but there are some great ones.
You know when
Up
they're
North
bad,
is
when
a
the
great
sound
one.
is bad. When the sound is bad, you know, okay, no,
It's
this
not
ain't.
just the sound.
Nah, it's the sound.
Nollywood.
The sound is when you know that this ain't a proper
No,
film.
friend. It's when they've got one camera it's the one camera that you only see them this way, and then the person moves and it's this way, and the person moves and it's this way. Not what? Nollywood don't care. They're like, oh, we've only got one camera, no problem. It's only got 5 hours battery life, no problem.
You know what it is? I recognize the good actors. So there's some actors that I recognize. I see them in the.
Probably, I think you're talking about Adesua and her husband Banky Wellington. They're in like a lot of them.
Yeah, so those
and they
ones,
always do
those
the
ones.
same.
wedding
And
film.
also, they're always starring each other's films, and I'm like, does it not get
'Cause they're
boring?
married.
No,
because
is
maybe
that a
they
rule?
wrote in their vows, we will work together.
They're in
You
every
will
film
never.
together. She will be like a small little extra. One film I watched,
Extra?
One film I watched, she wasn't the main character. In Up North, which is a badly titled film, but it's a good film. She is like almost like a minor
It's a
character.
thing in Nigeria, you know.
No, I know. Same thing in Canada, but I'm saying the title of the film, in my opinion,
What do you mean? Same in Canada.
you said Up North is a region in Nigeria.
And I think they'll speak to they're referring to the house. Anyway, never mind.
The film is
Everywhere has the north.
in Nigeria. Sorry, in the
I know you're
film,
talking about the house
in
of
the
people
film.
and the Fulani people.
I don't want to talk to you.
The house of people and the Fulani people. I know what you're
don't
talking
wanna
about. But what I'm
Where
trying
you
to say
going?
is that
Maurice, where you going?
don't interrupt Maurice's run to tell her that
I
that's
don't
a
want
thing.
to. Why are you talking to me with your hand?
Because I don't think you're getting me.
I just want to say, yeah, as the Nollywood aficionado,
Yeah.
Continue. Don't be. Nothing can hinder you. Continue.
don't let anybody tell you anything about what you are the expert area in. Out of the three of we,
Yeah.
is me. I'm the Nollywood expert.
How do you know that?
Because you've only because you
you're
don't watch that much
expert.
Nollywood stuff.
No,
Trust me.
listen.
How do you know that?
Because if you
No,
you know what, Linton?
He's the expert.
Do you realise I've been
Stop
watching
that,
Nollywood
stop that.
films for a very good reason for the past 4 years?
Lyndon.
Because I'm writing a book that's based in that area.
Clap for
so
your
that I'm
damn
so I've
self.
watched a lot of those films.
clap for yourself.
A lot.
You have watched them, but you
More
also,
than anyway.
Sorry.
You know what?
I take it back.
everybody.
I really
Lyndon
do.
is the expert area. Let me fall back.
Lyndon is the expert in every area, including the expert area.
So I'm trying to get their pattern of speech right. So that's why I've watched a lot of those films. So I don't know why you're assuming you're the expert.
The reason why is because I talk about Nollywood films all the time. I love Nollywood. In fact, when I go home tomorrow, I'm going to watch Nollywood films. Why? Because I can, to be honest. I watch Nollywood film literally every day because you don't have to pay that much attention. And I'm sorry, it's true.
Do you know what? You got
It's true.
Put some respect on their names, right? Because I don't know if Nigeria have a film school like America does. Well, obviously they probably don't. They probably
Obviously, they
Oh.
probably don't. Can I just say, all the Nigerians that they're making their way into our comment
They're
section.
coming to fight.
don't.
Drop me out.
So what? So okay, Nigerians, they just want to make. They're making films, and obviously they're employing people that aren't professional level
Stop.
filmmakers at all time. But no, I'm talking about like the early Nollywood.
Okay, I don't know.
Late Nollywood, what stuff that I've seen now, it's certified. Like
How
it's
do you know they
proper.
didn't go to the Americas to learn and
They
didn't come
probably
back?
have.
Okay, no, I'm saying even in the early Nollywood.
They definitely did.
I couldn't pick up a camera
I
and
don't
start
think they
making
did.
a
Let
film.
me tell you, some of those early
no,
Nollywood
they did,
films,
they did.
it was like they went to Microsoft Word
Yeah.
and Microsoft PowerPoint and they dropped some of the stuff in. Honestly, it was wild.
You know the ones that you see in the
believe it.
memes, like why are you running? Them ones there.
But maybe they like that.
No.
Anyway, I just want to
They're
say
better
for all
now,
of
is
our
what I'm saying.
Nigerian
Shout out
followers,
Nigerians. 'cause
we
your
love
films are dope.
Nollywood. Yeah, I personally love it. I would also like to say, if you're looking for a hairstylist, anybody knows somebody who wants to go over to Nigeria for a period of time and do hair on any Nollywood films, please holler at your girl. That's why I'm fab. I'm happy to help you out with that. Thanks. My little plug.
I'm pleading the fifth.
Also,
I'm
South Africa's doing better now with their films.
South Africa's
but-
television, leave film. South Africa's television is, I feel like that is the hub of great television in Africa.
Really?
Absolutely.
I've never watched it.
Absolutely.
If you don't watch there's two
I haven't
in
watched Blood
Netflix.
Oh no, I think the
Blood and
movies are
Fire?
Nigeria. Nigeria is good with the movies. South
Ghanaian
Africa is
films
good
are also
for the.
coming up there.
So there's Queen Sono and
Oh, I haven't
Blood and
seen that
Water.
yet. I need to watch Blood and Water. I watched a Ghanaian film called Picture Perfect 2. Absolutely fantastic. Ghanaian. Absolutely fantastic.
Gollywood now.
Must?
Raw. Is that what they call it?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Doesn't
Sorry.
work.
Insults flying left, right, and centre. I'm just here to view them.
But yeah, South Africa do it properly, and it kind of Please, and don't lean that way because he's going out of frame.
He said, and please. Get you together.
Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. So South Africa, they do right, but they don't do that much. They're not as busy as the Nigerian ones.
They do a lot of soaps and they do a lot of television stuff.
I started to watch a South African film and I couldn't. I just said, nah, I'm out.
What?
I didn't like it.
I watched a nice one the other
I am
day.
single,
Which one was
suddenly
that?
single. It's really bright and
Oh,
yellow.
that one. Yeah, I watched that.
I couldn't. I got 10 minutes in and I said, nah, I'm out.
I mean, it's no different to where a white one would go. I really don't know what.
Do you know what I like about the South
Would you watch a
African
white
stuff?
romantic comedy?
Would
Yeah.
we?
But you wouldn't watch Suddenly Single.
I don't. I.
Why wouldn't you let me? Because what your then we'll speak to you afterwards. So remind me to speak to you afterwards.
So couldn't tell you. Remind me to beat you for the thing that I beat you
Remind me to speak to you
for.
afterwards.
Okay.
So I was saying what I like about the South African movies and TV shows
Yeah.
is that they sometimes flip between English, Afrikaans, Zulu, and other native languages.
I thought you were going to try and say.
Leave her. Why?
Go on, sir.
Why?
Yeah, come on.
Come on!
Come on.
Shout out to Jennifer! Thanks. So, yeah, all of the... Don't test me. Let me tell you something. Do you know who I be? Thanks.
Aww.
So that's all I have to say because he knows and it's going to marinate in your mind and then I have to talk to you about something else. But I love the fact that they flip between languages and they don't really care if you just speak English. You're gonna follow, and they'll have subtitles most of the time.
Oh, do they?
They do have subtitles.
But they I think is showing that they equally cater to the English speaking and the Afrikaans speaking and the Zulu speaking. Like they'll cater to everybody. Everybody can hear their language in most things, or in a
important.
movie, and you can tell that they are nearly equally valued. Obviously, English is probably going to be the majority of the conversation because it's probably a shared language across the board. But like they're not scared to venture away from English, and I love that.
I really like
That's
Blood and
important.
Water. I really, really liked it.
You know what? Let me watch it this weekend because I was about to watch
Don't lie
Selling
to us.
Sunset.
Don't lie to us.
First of all, let me just help you right now. I'm not sure why
Don't
you're speaking.
underdeliver.
I don't understand why you're becoming very familiar with this flipping phrase "underdeliver." Lyndon, yeah? I'm going to need you to fall all the way back. I
Only
always
God's grace and
over-deliver.
glory.
Okay,
I don't
alright.
understand.
Huh?
I'm going to watch Blood and Water. I'm also going to watch another Nollywood film because I choose to.
And watch Queen Sono as well.
I don't know if I can fit that one in, but I'll try.
It's only 6 episodes.
How much time? Sorry, let me help him. Guys, listeners, in case you don't know, we've all got full-time jobs. And my job actually is like a full-time job and a half. Friend, when am I going to watch Blood and Water, finish watching Selling Sunset, watch
Okay, take out
Nollywood?
Selling Sunset.
It still doesn't mean I can watch 6 episodes of
Take out
Queen
Selling
Sono.
Sunset.
Doesn't mean I can watch it.
If you take out
Why don't
Selling
you ask Andrew
Sunset,
to watch something else?
I can help
have
you
already
out
watched
right
Queen
now.
Sono?
No.
Already? Have you seen Blood and Water?
No.
Oh, you both terrible.
I
Talking
can
about
help
South
you
Africa.
right now.
Meanwhile-
I've watched Queen Sono
Meanwhile-
and I've watched Blood and Water
Meanwhile-
because
Actually, that's
I
clever for you.
support black stories.
Oh, wow.
I'm so proud
Be proud.
I
You
support
said
black
that earlier
stories
today,
too. I support your story that
Shut
you
up,
told me.
Linda.
I support my story.
Let me tell you something. Linda will have you out here, yeah? And he'll be like, I don't have time to watch Netflix. I don't have time. I'm busy. I only watch TV when I have to. When I asked him to watch Indian matchmaking, he's like, no, I don't have time. I don't watch TV. I said, are you all right? You're out here watching TV left, right, and centre. So you have to make it make sense. You can't tell me you're out here supporting everything.
Watching TV left, right, and centre.
You
Left,
just
right,
said,
and centre.
I've watched
Up,
this, I've
up
watched
and
that.
down.
I will usually watch
You said,
those in
I've
the
watched
weekend.
this and
I
I've
watch
watched
them. I
that.
watch them in the
You said-
weekend.
You said, I've watched this and I've watched that and I've
Yeah.
watched that.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
I said I watched Queen Sono and I watched Blood and Water
And you
when
said
it came
more.
out in a weekend. Done.
Yeah. But Lyndon, the narrative that you're trying to present to our followers is that you're watching everything all the time.
I'm watching the 2 South African series that have come out.
Well, if you believe that, friends, you'll believe anything.
Are you telling them to not believe what I'm saying?
I'm asking.
I watched
them.
Queen Sono and I watched Blood and Water and I love it. Season 2 coming next year. I'm excited.
Why are you nodding with him?
Whatever you say, mate.
Right, so what do you want to speak to me
I
about?
know I'm speaking to you off camera.
Off camera.
Anyway, friends, we've come to the end of our podcast. We're not doing slap and claps. Now, I want to do something because I'm a woman of principle and a woman of my word. Even though Lyndon has royally upset me, but what's
What
new?
did I do?
So,
What did I do?
friend,
You lot can't handle a little bit of banter, you know. I've started realising this
Please
past
close your
couple of
hands.
days.
Please close your hands.
This is what I've realised a couple of
Please,
days. You can't handle
That's
banter.
not kind hand gesture. That's not kind hand gesture. This one that you did hit was definitely not a kind hand gesture.
not kind.
What you need to do is put them under the table. We don't want to see them.
You know, like this. Say what you're saying. Really?
Well, I'll get there, sir, in my time. Thanks. As the eldest, I'm just going to take my time.
Oh, now you're the eldest.
Lyndon, please don't anger me further today. I just want to say, everybody, I'm not doing slap and claps, but I'm going to clap Lyndon. Because
Oh yeah.
today, in case you haven't
You're
seen,
such a bad child.
you're such a bad child.
Yeah,
But you know, you still have to reward bad
You
children.
call me child.
Because God shines.
You can call me child. You can't call me
I'll
child.
call everybody child. God shines sunshine or mercy on the wicked and the bad.
Sunshine,
Wicked and the
mercy,
good.
rain, everything.
You're wicked and bad and good.
Sometimes.
Anyway, whatever. In case you haven't seen Lyndon, yeah, and 2 of his friends are writing a book, and today he dropped a video. Everyone go watch it, please, on his page at LGK Music, at LGK_music.
Yeah, say that on the mic again.
So at LGK_music. Why am I even doing
Sorry,
this?
I don't know why.
Okay, anyway.
Take over.
It's Uncle Ray.
So when I saw the video, I came onto Instagram and I saw the video. I said, "Hey, what is Lyndon doing here?" He's opening the book. He's looking at the book. He's sitting in the book. I said, "What's going on?" And I looked at the thing. I said, "Wow, your book is coming out." We've been asking Lyndon to tell us for the longest time when he's getting ready to put it out. He decided that he wants to make his first announcement on the Instagram.
Yeah, so
Cool.
everybody saw
That's fine.
That's okay.
But go and support.
When it's out.
Not
when
yet,
it's out.
not yet. Let's
Yeah,
not-
but
let's
just get
not- not
ready.
yet.
You never
But
know.
get
By the
ready
time
to
this
subscribe.
comes
Really,
out, it
what
might
the
be out.
video was to do was to put pressure on ourselves because we're editing it now, right? So
Don't keep your secrets away.
Hello.
Let's act like
The
we
bottom
know.
line is this: Lyndon and 2 of his friends are writing a book. They're writing
Got that out
actually
there.
a trilogy. It's a book of 7.
Yeah.
It's a children's book.
Trilogy 7. Why?
She said, why did you have that one?
Sorry.
You could let it slide.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Lyndon is
It's
writing a
a
book.
trilogy.
Lyndon's writing
It's a
7
book of
books.
7.
Everybody get it. Nah. That's what you get. Lyndon
I'm
is writing
so
a book
excited.
with
I'm
2
so
of his
excited.
friends. They're writing 7 books. Are all 7 finished?
No.
All
Just
7.
asking.
The first one is about to come out. Stay ready.
It's about to be finished.
It's about to be finished, and
Not
we're
come out.
we're actually really proud
Not
of
come out
him.
for a long time.
We've been talking about owning. Hello, everybody, focus.
He said he's not going to come for a long time.
Don't say that.
We might be promoting something that's coming out in 2024.
No, not that long.
Next year.
Hopefully, I don't know.
Oh, that's
It
fine.
depends.
Okay, we're gonna
Okay.
regroup. So basically, we want to shout out Lyndon because actually he's a black author and his friends are black authors and black stories matter. We've been talking about black art and owning our art, and Lyndon is just out here really striving and doing amazing things. So we're very proud. But we also want to say, check out his video.
Yes.
And stay tuned and
And
stay
share
posted.
it and get ready.
And that's on that period.